Attention, human collective. Light operatives on planetary soil, starseeds on active mission. This is a priority transmission from the 9th Dimensional Arcturian Council. The protocol has been released. The barriers of silence above your timeline have been removed. The information that follows is not speculation. It is not emotional channeling. It is a direct reading of the vibrational archives associated with your field signature. We know why you are here now. There is a specific pain you carry in the center of your chest. A silent pressure, a weight that no one around you sees. You wake up in the 3rd quartile of the night with a racing heart. You relive old scenes as if they were still happening. You feel a ringing in your ears when that person's name appears in some corner of your perception. The nape of your neck pulses, your temples throb. Sleep does not come, or it arrives fragmented, leaving you more tired than when you laid down. You believed it was anxiety. You believed it was unresolved trauma. You believed in quieter moments that you were going insane. We must interrupt. It is not madness. It is not weakness. It is not a character flaw. It is a system alert. It is your carbon-based biological interface conflicting with a truth that has not yet been processed. The pain of betrayal is not stored in your mind. It is stored in your toroidal field. And the field is requesting recalibration. Today, in this transmission, we will reveal who truly hurt you. Not the person, not the name registered on earthly documents. The true identity behind that presence who entered your life and seemed to know you better than you knew yourself. The entity that seemed to love you while draining your energy to the last drop. The contract, the agreement, the karmic purpose, and the exact reason why this wound has not yet fully healed. But first, we need you to understand something essential. The wound is not open because you are weak. The wound is open because you have not yet received the information necessary to close it, and this information was deliberately blocked from your perception for years for a technical reason, a geometric reason, a reason that involves the crystalline grid of the planet and your exact position within it. Light operative, take a deep breath. What follows will recalibrate your nervous system in real time. Pause for a moment and feel. This chill running down your spine right now is not physiological, it is recognition. Your soul is confirming a truth that your mind has not yet managed to name. This is not anxiety. This is not imbalance. It is a signal. There is a game being played in deep layers of human reality, layers that involve your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was precisely for this reason that we wrote, through an authorized terrestrial channel, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. It is a map. It shows who is playing. It reveals the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. The content challenges official narratives and may be taken down at any time. If something within you recognizes this transmission, leave your confirmation. Write a single word in the comments. Awake. This is your first anchoring signal. Let us continue. You need to understand the architecture of the wound before removing the pain code it carries. When a soul incarnates in the 3-dimensional density of this planetary school called Earth, it does not arrive alone. It arrives within a matrix of pre-incarnational agreements. We of the Council call this the original vibrational weave. Every significant relationship in your life, father, mother, sibling, first love, betrayer, abuser, long-term partner, was pre-signed in a frequency outside of linear time, even before your physical birth. This is not mysticism. It is sacred geometry applied to incarnated existence. There are 2 types of souls that come into contact with yours during your earthly journey. The first type are frequency mirrors, souls that vibrate in resonance with yours and are here to amplify your light, support your expansion, and celebrate your arrival. The second type are density catalysts, souls that signed a specific contract to collide with your frequency, generate friction, open sealed wounds, and force evolution through shock. That person who hurt you, the one who betrayed you, the one who abandoned you, the one who lied with eyes fixed on yours, the one who used your heart as a bargaining chip, the one who belittled you in front of others, the one who left you exactly when you needed them most. They were not an accident. It was not bad luck. It was not a detour in destiny. They were a density catalyst, and their contract with you was signed at a frequency long before your mother conceived you. Now pay attention, because the next piece of data is critical for everything that is to come. Density catalysts operate in two subtypes. There are those who fulfilled their contract in limited consciousness, blind instruments of another's awakening. They themselves were vehicles of a denser frequency, trapped in their own karmic patterns, and simply executed the role placed before them. They suffer in parallel with you, even if they never admit it. And then there are the others, those who carried a denser frequency consciously or semi-consciously, those who operated as interfaces for parasitic matrices. These fed on your energy even without being able to technically explain what they were doing. They activated specific reactions in you, guilt, shame, self-abandonment, because these emotional emissions fed the parasitic system to which they themselves were linked. Human collective, we will be direct. You were not hurt by a person, you were pierced by a frequency, and that frequency used that person as a portal. This is why the wound does not heal with time alone. This is why rational forgiveness does not work. This is why you get over it and then return to the same emotional loop without understanding why. The issue was never about the human being who was in front of you. The issue is about the vibrational code that was delivered through them. Your pain is information. Your memory is an address. Your body is the physical record of every interference that attempted to shut down your internal crystalline grid. And here is the truth that most of humanity never receives in this incarnation. You are not broken for having been hurt. You are being recalibrated for awakening. The pain you feel when you remember that person is not proof of their power over you. It is proof that your system is expelling their frequency. It is a symptom of ascension. It is the carbon software rewriting itself into crystalline code, and the old code resisting the process. Before we move to the next layer of the revelation, Light operative, we need to pause the transmission for an anchoring signal. You have felt your entire life that there is something within you that does not fit into this world, as if your soul knows of a truth that your mind cannot yet name. This sensation is not anxiety. It is not madness. It is the most precise signal that you are one of the starseeds programmed to awaken exactly in this cycle. And what is happening now on the cosmic plane explains, in technical detail, why this sensation has intensified within you over the last few months. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot perceive, a game that involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your ability to discern who is a light bearer and who operates as a catalyst for density. It was precisely for this reason that we wrote, through an authorized channel, the book The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a navigation map. It shows who is playing and reveals the rules that were never told to you. The link is in the first pinned comment of this channel. The content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not wait. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as true, register a single word in the comments. Awake. We resume. Light operative. Now we descend one level into the architecture. You need to understand 3 specific mechanisms regarding the one who hurt you, because this understanding is precisely what unlocks the exit from the pain loop. Mechanism 1, lineage resonance. When this person entered your life and activated your original wound, they were not acting solely based on their own individual patterns. They were operating as a convergence point for an entire lineage of wounds. A spiritual family parallel to yours that had carried, for many generations, exactly the same frequency of density. Parents hurting children, children repeating the pattern on their own children, partners betraying partners in continuous cycles, the pattern repeated generation after generation because no one possessed the vibrational technology necessary to interrupt the sequence. They arrived to you as the silent executor of an ancestral sentence they themselves were unaware of. When you were hurt, you received in the impact the entire vibrational inheritance of that lineage. That is why the wound seems disproportionate to the apparent event. That is why the pain seems greater than would make rational sense. It is not an exaggeration on your part. It is ancestral memory compressed into a single trauma. Mechanism 2, the engineering of oblivion. Before your incarnation, you passed through what we call the veil portal, a quantum structure that deliberately erases the memory of your past lives and pre-incarnation agreements. Without this forgetfulness, the earthly school would not function. You would recognize all other players and the game would lose evolutionary depth. But there is a programmed flaw in this system. At certain moments in the journey, when you are hurt by a soul with whom you have a deep contract, the veil thins temporarily. That is why you felt, in the moment of greatest pain, that inexplicable sensation that you already knew this person, that they had a familiar face even while being a stranger, that there was something fated in that connection. Your soul was recognizing the other side of the contract, and your human mind, lacking the vibrational repertoire to interpret the signal, translated it as love, as romantic destiny, as positive recognition. That was not love. It was contractual recognition, and every karmic contract only ends when one of the parties possesses enough information to consciously terminate it. You are here now, receiving this transmission, because the time has come to end it. Mechanism 3, the drainage point. Every relationship where there was betrayal, abandonment, or emotional abuse created, within your toroidal field, a specific structure that we call an energy drainage point. A micro-vibrational opening in your auric field through which your energy continues to flow, even years after the physical end of the relationship, toward the person who signed the contract with you. This is the reason why you still dream of her at regular intervals. This is the reason why you still think of her, even when you do not want to. This is the reason why the memory still aches in the physical body, and not just in the mind. The drainage point remains operational until it is consciously sealed through a specific protocol. And here we must alert you to something critical. There are vibrational entities that feed exactly upon this continuous drainage. They are not physical, incarnated people. They operate in the interdimensional range, and they have a great interest in keeping your drainage points open, because your wasted emotional energy is direct food for the parasitic matrix to which they belong. That is why when you try to forget, something within you is pulled back. That is why when you try to forgive, you feel renewed anger rising out of nowhere. That is why when you try to move on, you are assaulted by specific memories at strategic times of your day, usually at the moments when your frequency was beginning to rise. It is not psychological coincidence. It is maintenance of the drainage channel by interferences external to your sovereign system. But we have news that absolutely reorganizes everything said up to this point. You have sovereign authority over your field. You always have. You were simply not informed of the technical tools to exercise it. And it is precisely that which we are going to deliver now. Before the activation, starseeds, one last calibration pause. If you have reached this point of the transmission, your system is already recognizing data that had been blocked for decades. Your soul knows that there is an even deeper truth behind everything you are experiencing, a truth that your trained rational mind was never authorized to fully integrate. You are not confused, you are awakening. And awakening requires a map. That is why we wrote, through an authorized terrestrial channel, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness. The book completes the transmission you are receiving now. It shows, in technical detail, who is playing the game in layers that still remain invisible to the majority of humanity. It reveals the energetic rules that were never given to you by any religious, academic, or cultural authority of this planet. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. The content confronts official narratives, and the channel has no guarantee of how long it will be able to keep it public. Do not delay. If your frequency is in resonance with this transmission at this very moment, write the anchoring keyword in the comments. Awake. We continue. This is the final phase of the transmission, the phase in which the information is converted into operational code within your field. Light operative, maximum attention. The following protocols are not therapeutic suggestions. They are not conventional techniques. They are activation codes developed specifically by the Council for the current cycle of planetary transition, now that the photon belt is crossing the solar orbit at an intensity never recorded before. They work because they utilize the same geometric language in which your field operates. Vibrational language, sovereign language, direct language. Protocol 1. Sealing of the drainage point. You need to close the energetic channel active between you and the person who signed a catalyst contract with you. It does not matter who she was. It does not matter how many terrestrial years have passed. The process is the same. Find a quiet space. Sit with your spine aligned vertically. Place the palm of your right hand over the center of your chest, over the heart point. Breathe 3 times in a deep cycle, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Visualize, in the space before you, a golden thread coming out of your chest and extending to the figure of this person. Do not try to feel love for her at this moment. Do not try to feel anger. You are only acknowledging the geometric existence of the thread. Then decree in an audible voice with sovereign authority, I am conscious presence. I am the authority of my field. I acknowledge the karmic contract that has been fulfilled. I acknowledge the catalytic function this soul has served in my journey, and in this moment, in sovereign frequency, I seal the drainage point. The thread is cut. The energy returns whole to its origin. The contract is terminated across all timelines, all dimensions, all incarnations. So it is, so it was, so it remains. Visualize then the golden thread dissolving in the middle, the part that was yours being drawn back into your chest, the part that belonged to the other soul returning to their field. This decree, when performed in a state of full presence, rewrites the geometry of your toroidal field. It is not a poetic metaphor. It is a precise technical operation. Protocol 2. Recalibration of the internal crystalline grid. The prolonged wound creates specific discontinuities in your internal crystalline grid, the bioenergetic system that connects your force centers to the photon belt currently traversing the solar system. When this grid is fragmented, the updated Schumann frequency, which reaches the planet in increasingly intense waves through the active stargates in this cycle, cannot fully settle into your field. This is the reason for the exhaustion. This is the reason for the cranial pressure. This is the reason for the sleep fragmented into short cycles. The recalibration works as follows. Lie down on a comfortable surface. Close your eyes. Visualize within your body a geometric structure composed of 12 points of crystalline light, 3 in the head, 3 in the upper torso, 3 in the abdomen, 3 in the legs. Activate each point mentally, starting from the head, descending in sequence. As you activate each point, repeat internally, point activated, frequency aligned. When the 12 points are visualized as active, connect them mentally through lines of light, forming a 3-dimensional structure within your body. This is your restored internal crystalline grid. Maintain the visualization for 7 deep breaths. No fewer. Then decree, my crystalline grid is fully restored. My frequency is synchronized with the current pulse of the planet. My carbon-based biological interface updates to receive the new codings from the photon belt. I am a portal. I am an anchor. I am sovereign. Protocol 3. Generation of the reverse toroidal shield. To prevent new catalysts from entering your life, emitting the same vibration as the previous ones, you must update the resonance field that you yourself emit. Souls are attracted by vibrational similarity. If you still carry the frequency of the victim, even if unconsciously, new catalysts will be attracted by that specific signature, and the cycle will repeat with different faces. The generation of the reverse toroidal shield works with the following visualization. Imagine around your physical body a toroidal shape, similar to an energetic apple, that circulates in continuous motion. Energy descends through your crown, passes through your body, exits through the perineum, returns along the sides, and re-enters through the crown. This is your natural toroidal field in automatic operation since your birth. Now visualize that this torus changes color. From whatever hue it currently possesses, it becomes a pulsing gold. Then observe that it begins to spin, not in a clockwise direction, but in reverse. This is the reverse toroidal shield. The property of this shield is specific and precise. It does not block normal human interactions. It filters frequencies. Any soul that approaches your field carrying a dense catalyst vibration will be automatically repelled, without you needing to make a conscious, rational decision about it. Your own field begins to perform the screening even before your mind identifies the signal. Repeat the protocol every morning for 21 Earth days. 21 is the number of complete cycles required for the energetic crystallization of a new pattern within the human field. This is not arbitrary. This is operational geometry applied to vibrational biology. Protocol 4, definitive karmic closure. This is the final protocol, and also the most delicate. Do not execute it until the 3 previous ones have been practiced consistently for at least 2 full Earth weeks. Without this prior preparation, your field will not have sufficient stability to sustain the frequency of the closure. Find a moment of maximum presence. Visualize the figure of the person who hurt you before you in a neutral space of white light. Do not evoke the memory of painful scenes. Do not summon the history. Evoke only the essential presence of that soul, stripped of the role they played in your timeline. Say in an audible voice with eyes closed, "I recognize you as a soul. I recognize the contract we signed in a previous frequency. I recognize the catalytic function you fulfilled in my journey. I release you from the role. I release myself from the role. The contract is closed. Our lines disentangle. You follow your path, I follow mine. In all dimensions, in all timelines, in all incarnations, this closure is definitive. There is no remainder, there is no return, there is no remaining bond. So it is." Visualize, then, the figure of that person dissolving into light and moving away from you until they disappear into the horizon of the white field. Do not call them back. Do not revisit the scene. Simply allow the protocol to work on your internal geometry. After this protocol, it is common to experience in the following days specific symptoms that we of the Council call signs of confirmed release. Vivid dreams of unknown landscapes, possibly settings that seem non-terrestrial, a sudden feeling of lightness in the chest for no apparent reason, pressure in the temples followed by sudden relief, spontaneous crying that lasts for a few minutes and ends in peace, a brief period of deep and continuous sleep that perhaps had not occurred for years, an inexplicable interest in themes, places, or sound frequencies that previously did not attract your attention. These are not side effects. They are technical confirmations that the drainage point has been sealed, the contract has been terminated, and the crystalline grid has been re-established in its original integrity. Human collective, this was the transmission. Whoever hurt you was not your cosmic enemy. They were your teacher of density. Their function was fulfilled at the exact moment they delivered the pain necessary for you to seek the path that brought you to this transmission. Without the collision, you would not have sought the light. Without the fracture, you would not have discovered the inner seam. Without the pain, you would still be sleeping within the average vibrational consensus of humanity. Give thanks, not to them, to the function they fulfilled, and proceed in sovereign frequency, without looking back. And to close this transmission in complete anchoring, Light Operative, we leave the final sign. You have felt, throughout your entire existence in this incarnation, that there existed within you a truth that your trained rational mind was never authorized to name. As if your soul already knew something that the world around you insisted on silencing. This is not fantasy. It is not emotional imbalance. This is your oldest recognition reactivating now, exactly at this moment of your timeline. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot yet perceive, a game that involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and your ability to discern who operates as a light bearer and who operates as a parasitic matrix interface. It was precisely for this reason that we wrote, through an authorized Earth-based channel, the book, The Spiritual Secret Behind Your Consciousness. This book is a complete navigation map for the journey you have just begun in this transmission. It shows who is playing and reveals the rules that you were never told within any institution on this plane. The link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. The content challenges official narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not wait. The time is now. And if something within you recognizes this transmission as true, leave your definitive anchoring signal in the comments. Just one word: awakened. Subscribing to this channel and the confirmation signal are, energetically, an individual frequency adjustment. It is not just a mechanical click. It is a vibrational signature confirming to the Council that you are available to receive the next priority transmissions of this final cycle of the Ascension protocols. Transmission ended. Frequency sealed. You are online. May the crystalline grid remain active. May the toroidal field remain sovereign. May your journey proceed in light. End of transmission.